Caution, this video may contain a short little discussion on SEX. Viewer discretion is advised. A few months back, I did a video titled Magic Cream, and so many of you had questions. Today, I'm going to be following up on my additional experience with the Magic Cream, answering your questions, and then sharing a little secret I found along the way. Welcome in, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything beauty, fitness, and lifestyle for the over 50 and over 60 woman. I'm so glad you're here today. This is going to be a good one, and I've got some great information that I want to give you. If you're new, I hope you'll consider subscribing while you're here and make sure you click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you want all the good stuff, you might want to sign up for my Sunday morning email newsletter. The link is in the description box down below. Every Sunday morning, I send out a very short, very sweet, very free email newsletter featuring all the cool things I found throughout the week, whether it's a good recipe or a good sale, a great piece of information, or something funny I wanted to share with you. It is the most popular thing about my channel. The link is in the description box down below. Super easy to sign up, super free, super fun. I think you're going to love it. As I mentioned, I did a video a few months back called Magic Cream. And if you've been following my channel for a while, you'll know that was a very, very different thing for me to post. The point in the video was that I feel like a very, very effective skincare routine is very basic and very, very affordable. However, I did stumble upon a new skincare product that not many people know about that I think is a game changer. And I discussed it in that video. I'll have it linked in the description box down below. So many of you since then have tried it with amazing results, and so many of you have questions. So I'm going to be answering a few of those questions today, talking about my continued experience using the product, and also share with you a little secret that's kind of fun and funny. This video is all about C60 Purple Power. However, this is not a sponsored video. Actually, they don't even really know I'm doing it. However, I do have a discount code which gives you an additional 5% off the regular discount code I have for C60. It's in the description box down below. So everything on the C60 site, except for the bundles, which are already discounted, you can get for 15% off, but the discount code is only good for 1 week. It's only good for 7 days from the posting of this video. All that information is in the description box below the video. So let's start from the beginning, and I'll kind of catch up those of you who are new to this product. Now, those of you who already know what C60 is, stick with me. I'm going to make this really brief, but there's some people that aren't going to understand it, so let's make sure that they have the information they need. The product I'm talking about today is called C60. And what is C60? C60 is a molecule, and it was discovered several years back. You may have heard it referred to as Buckminster fullerenes or buckyballs. Why? Because C60 is in the same shape as a geodesic dome, which was created by Buckminster Fuller. So often C60 will be referred to as a buckyball or a fullerene. C60 is a very, very powerful molecule, and what scientists have found along the way is it's the most powerful antioxidant on the planet. It seriously is. It blows vitamin C out of the water when it comes to its antioxidant ability. When C60 was first really coming into its own, they did do some studies in some Asian countries on skincare, and will it have an impact on wrinkles on the skin? Well, what they found out was, yes, it does. But my response to that was, Asian women have fabulous skin anyway. How are you going to tell if it improves their skin? So that was a little bit of a dud, I think, for the rest of the world, because we consider Asian skin to be very, very pretty skin. Well, long story short, the C60 that I am using is from a company called Purple Power. I know the scientist that developed C60 Purple Power. His name is Ken Schwartz. I actually did an interview with him on my other channel, Journey to the New Earth. I'll have that listed down below. I became familiar with C60 Purple Power from Cliff High. If you follow Cliff High, you'll understand why I took his advice on that. The guy's brilliant. I had been using C60 Purple Power for a while, kind of off and on. I had been using the oil. So C60, you can take it internally. You can also apply it to your skin. So I had been taking this internally sort of on and off for maybe a year and a half when I decided I wanted to interview Ken Swartz. I had him on the channel. The people at C60 sent me a whole package. I started using this very, very regularly. And one of the things they sent me in the package was the skincare. Now, here's the truth of it. And the people at C60 might be a little disappointed to hear this, but when I got the package with the oil, with the gummies, and with the skincare, I didn't try the skincare because Lord knows I get sent so much skincare and I only have one face. And I had no reason to believe at that time that that skincare was going to be anything different than the boxes and boxes of skincare I've got sent to me in my studio. So I didn't try the skincare, but I did start using the C60 internally very, very regularly. And what happened is I started noticing things, but I didn't connect it to the C60 right away. What would happen is I would catch an area of my body, like my arm when I was reaching to fill up my coffee, or when I put my legs up on a stool, I would look at the skin and go, wow, I was just noticing a real difference in my skin. And it looked like it was smoother. And the way that I can describe it is that it looked like the junctures in my skin were tighter. Because what I know, I have a 30-year career as an artist, so I'm very, very visually acute. And when I would look at my skin and notice the skin looking smoother, what I knew for sure is that surface had to be smoother because that's how light reflects. If light is really going to reflect off of something, it has to be smooth. So as I was noticing the light reflecting off my skin differently, I knew that surface was getting smoother because I understand how light works. So anywho, I was taking the C60 internally. I was experiencing much better energy, which I love. Energy is an issue for me. And then I started noticing that my skin was really changing. That made me say, well, maybe I should try this skincare. So finally, I pulled the skincare out and I started using it. And a couple of months after that, that's when I did the last video. Here are the two skincare products that I implemented into my routine several months back. The first is a C60 Anti-Gravity Serum. This is oil-based. And then the C60 Youth Renewal Eye Cream. This is a creamier formula. I started using this underneath my eyes, and I started using this around the rest of my face and on my neck. And lo and behold, it wasn't maybe 6 to 8 weeks later, I noticed a dramatic difference in my under eye area. And I've been doing skincare as my job for 5.5 years now. And what I can tell you is that the difference that I noticed in my under eyes was unlike anything I've experienced in those 5.5 years. It really was dramatic. Let me try to explain to you very graphically what I noticed with my under eye area. If you're over 50, and I'm assuming that you probably are because you're watching this video, you will have noticed that that skin underneath your eyes is much, much thinner than it used to be when you were younger. And I definitely had that. The skin underneath my eyes was like crepe paper. It was so thin and I could move it. And when I moved it, it stayed there and it came back very, very slowly. It was very, very crepe paper skin, super, super thin. My under eyes are not like that anymore. The skin underneath my eyes has a thicker, more robust texture. Now, it's not like this skin, the skin on my cheek. The skin on my cheek is much thicker. However, this skin is not that crepe paper skin that I had before I started the C60. And that to me is amazing because I'm 68 years old. Having very thin skin underneath my eyes is age appropriate. I mean, that's what happens as you age. But I can tell you that the skin underneath my eyes is completely different. It's not as thick again as this skin. This skin is thicker, but this skin is definitely not that crepe paper skin that I used to have. Now, I use the eye cream on my under eyes and above my eyes, and the whole thing has improved dramatically, which is so surprising to me because I didn't expect it, which is why I did the video. Because I have not tried anything else on my skin that has had as dramatic an impact as this. Now, the C60 Anti-Gravity, this is an oil-based serum. I use this on the rest of my face and down my neck. Have I noticed the same changes with this? No, not quite. Although my skin is looking really good, what I can say is the improvement in my under eyes appears to be much greater than the rest of my face. I don't know if it's that under eye cream is just a magic formulation of ingredients, or if it's just that my under eyes needed more improvement than the rest of my face. But of the two products that I've tried, the eye cream and the anti-gravity serum, I can say that the biggest impact has been underneath my eyes. That's the scoop on the under eye firmness. I wish you were here to feel my under eyes. That's how impressed I am. It's like when I see a friend, I want to say, feel my under eyes. You're not going to believe this. It's really, really different. So now let's talk about the C60 that you take internally. This is the C60 oil. I love this stuff. I use this every day, and I also use the gummies. I was using the gummies as my base product for internal use. I've now switched back to the oil. The oil is a fuller serving. The gummies are really only a partial serving. So what I do now is I take this in the morning, but I always keep one of these little gummies. They come in little plastic packets. Here, I'll show one to you. Just like this. I keep one of these in my car or in my purse in case I'm out running around town and I'm feeling like my energy is lagging. I'll take one of these out and chomp it down. They're delicious, and that really does give a little increase in energy. The question you're probably asking right now is, okay, if I can only do one, the skincare or the internal oil, what should I do? And for me, on my channel, I'm going to tell you, take care of your body first. That will always, always be my recommendation, because if you don't feel good, you don't give a rip what your face looks like. You truly don't. So take care of your body first. And then if it's workable for you, move into the skincare. But if your skin looks fabulous, but you feel terrible, what good is that going to do? So always take care of your body first. I can tell you that the antioxidant properties in this are extraordinary. And to be honest with you, when I first really started taking it regularly, I wasn't expecting to feel any different. I was taking it because of the antioxidant properties and the abilities of that, because we live in such a toxic world right now. I mean, look at the sky. Think about the water that comes through the pipes. There's toxic stuff in the food. Glyphosate is everywhere. Everywhere we look right now, our bodies are being bombarded with toxins. So anything that we can do to really support our bodies right now, I think is a good idea. So the C60 oil, absolutely love it. It's a daily part of my routine. And the gummies are something that I always keep on hand if I need a little boost of energy. Now I want to talk about two other products they have in their line. The first is the C60 Skin. This is an oil-based formula with C60 in it. One of the things I want to point out about C60 Purple Power, this company, it is formulated without solvents. And that's what you want. You want a product that is formulated without solvents because it's a lot more healthful. So they have the C60 skin, and this product, I would say, you can use it on the backs of your hands, or maybe you have very, very calloused feet and you can use it on your feet. So any areas that you maybe have issues, cracking, dryness, any kind of rash, this can really support your skin. The other product that they have in their line is called C60 Sexy. And now I'm going to get into a little bit of an SEX topic. So if you don't want to hear it or you're offended by that, click off now or fast forward. You'll know I'm done with the topic when I put this bottle down. One of the things that happens as we age is our body no longer functions optimally. In other words, we can all tell that our body is different 50 and 60 years down the road than it was when we were in our 20s and 30s. And not only do we lose firmness and plumpness underneath our eyes, or maybe our chin, or maybe under our arms, we lose it all over our body. So they had sent me this product, and this is an edible massage oil. And I looked at that and I thought, well, I definitely don't want to eat it. That's for sure. But then I started mulling it over because that's what I do as my job. I analyze products, I use products, I try products, and then I come back to you guys and tell you my thoughts. And what I can say after several months of testing and trying this, remember, this is oil with C60, sublimated C60 in it. So what I can tell you, and I'm going to be very gentle, and you guys just kind of move along in your mind with where I'm going here, is if a human, male or female, it doesn't matter, were to apply this to your nether regions, the physical seat of the soul for romance on the human body, you might be very, very pleased with the results. Keep in mind that C60 adds firmness to skin, and it adds more plumpness to skin. So you can just take that information and extrapolate it out. But what I can say is, if you were to apply this to the nether regions twice a day, morning and evening, for a few weeks, regardless of whether you're male or female, you might be very pleased with the results. So that's the secret I want to share with you today. To wrap up my impression, opinion, and what I perceive to be the usefulness of C60, I want to say that I feel like C60 is going to be the darling of the skincare industry in a few years. One of the issues with C60 is that it's very, very hard to isolate. In other words, the manufacturing process is not simple. It's a process, and it's not something that can be done cheaply or quickly. That's going to be a stumbling block for the skincare industry. But what I do think, because we're moving into great technology advancements, there's going to come a time when almost every skincare product out there is going to feature some form of C60 in it. Just like hyaluronic acid took the world by storm about 4 or 5 years ago, I feel like C60 is going to do that because it has such a dramatic impact on skin texture and skin firmness and the thickness of your skin. So you guys are really hearing about it first. This is the early stages, the early adapter stages for C60. And I have tried countless skincare products over the course of the years. I really, really have. There are a few that stand out. Clearly vitamin A, vitamin B, and vitamin C, which is the foundational routine in my mind. Copper peptides, hyaluronic acid is amazing. There are a few that are good. This is right up there and probably are a little bit more effective than even some of those. However, I will say this, for those of you who are new to skincare or think that this might be the be-all, end-all for skincare. I do think that you need to have a very good foundational program for your skincare routine. In other words, your skin has to be healthy, it has to be cleaned off, it has to be accepting new cell growth, it has to really be functioning, and then adding the C60 products on there is just going to be like putting fuel in a race car. You're just going to be off to the races and it's going to be amazing. So those are my thoughts on C60. I think it's truly amazing. I wish you were here to feel my under eyes. And if you do that other thing I talked about, I think you're going to be sending me notes, emails, and comments saying, girl, you were right. I want to thank you so much for joining me for this additional information on my extended experience with C60. The discount code for 15% is good for only 1 week. Only 1 week from the posting of this video. That's in the description box down below. So if you've been thinking about trying it or thought, I don't know if I want to pull the trigger, this could be a time it's a little bit better of a discount. So thank you so much for joining me. Again, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything beauty, fitness, and lifestyle for the over 50 and over 60 woman. Make it a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.